Hi, Kim Loader here from Able Recruitment. I've got another video for you. This time around we're going to talk about how you can keep your job if you're lucky enough to still have one. If you're feeling under pressure or stressed, it makes it difficult to think clearly. So I've put together some tips for you and I hope that they help in lessening the overwhelm and feeling more in control. So I just want to start with a little bit of perspective. So many businesses are under a lot of pressure at the moment. There are business owners who are losing sleep and they're making really difficult decisions that they don't want to make. If some of those decisions have affected you and your situation, then you might be questioning the fairness of those decisions. And you would hope that your manager or business owner has made the very best decision that they possibly can. Sometimes though you might just want to do some quick fact checking. So have a look at the Fair Work website in Australia if you work in Australia, and there's heaps of good information there that will just help you sort out what your entitlements are, or if you're a business owner, what your obligations are. The first tip is to be really mindful of your attitude. Lots of managers at the moment are making those decisions that they possibly don't want to have to make, but they're doing that to ensure the viability of the business and to make sure you still have a job to come to at the end of all of this, whenever that may be and whatever that looks like. So the more you can be mature and respectful and have a cooperative attitude, that'll help everybody get the best outcome. The second tip is to begin with the end in mind. Now that's a Stephen Covey quote from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book. If you've got the chance, go and have a read, even though it's an oldie. The reason why this one is relevant is because you want to make sure you're focusing your approach and your attention around what is the business trying to achieve right now. Make sure you're really clear on what's being asked and expected of you, and then you centre your actions around that. Third tip is to hone in on your performance. Make sure you're bringing in every productivity advantage that you have, that you've used and that you know works for you. And if you don't have many up your sleeve, go and learn some. Be really honest with yourself about when and why you sometimes get off track. Is it because you're just craving a bit of that social media? Give yourself some time at lunchtime to do that. Maybe you need to reach out and ask for some help a little bit sooner than what you normally would. Put your pride aside. Maybe you need to go and have an afternoon walk and just get some fresh air and reset if you know you kind of get cranky after you've been sitting and focusing for long periods of time. And that's something that you might just want to keep referring back to throughout the day to make sure that you're on track with managing the best performance that you can. So the fourth tip is to be open-minded and flexible as much as you can. If the people managing you feel as though they need to cajole and argue with you to get you moving along, that's going to count against you. If you can be flexible, go with the flow, maybe accept that the type of work you need to do now could look a little bit different to what it normally does, just go with it. And if you've got capacity, now might be the time to take on an extra project or some different work where you can help the overall cause and also really showcase some of your abilities and your willingness and capability in stepping up. Number 5 is a bit of a no-brainer, but that is to set up your workspace in the way that you know that you can be the most productive. There is so much information out there. Every second article that you will see on the internet is how to set up your workspace to be productive at the moment. So if you're looking for some ideas, just do a quick Google search or ask your colleagues what's working for them and try it out. If it's not working, change it and do something different. But it is really important that you don't gloss over that one. The 6th step is to negotiate if you need to. We are all working in unusual, different, unexpected environments and circumstances. So if you've decided that it's not really working for you to get your job done during the normal business hours, for example, maybe you can have a look at your job and say, well, realistically, if I could do this outside of those normal hours, perhaps I can have a conversation with my manager and renegotiate the way that I work. Another example might be if you have children at home and you need to supervise just their safety or their entertainment or their schooling. and you're working at the same time? Is your partner also at home? Sometimes that can be a tough conversation, but one that needs to be had, and you renegotiate how this is going to work going forward with the interruptions and the help and the care. Set it up and see how you go. The seventh tip is to observe, and I'm talking about observing other people and really being aware of the best performers, the ideal role model maybe. Have a look at how they work and what they're doing right now to perform at their best in this situation. If you can, have a conversation with them. It doesn't need to be formal or a lengthy conversation. You can just casually ask for some advice and really listen to what they say and take that on. So the eighth and the final tip is to be a good role model. Act on any good advice that you receive. Do the things that you inherently know are the right thing to do, and show your clients and your staff and your colleagues how you can be positive and optimistic and solution focused in moving from where we are now through the middle of this and out the other side, smiling and still standing. So all the very best. Go for it, and please reach out and ask questions if we can help in some way.